Hey guys, welcome to Into Fly Fishing and welcome to another fly tying tutorial. In the vise here I've got a fly called a WD-40. It's an excellent little midge pattern, best tied in sizes 16 to 22. The tools you need to tie the WD-40 is a vise, a pair of scissors, a bobbin holder, a whip finishing tool and an optional bodkin. The hook I'm going to use to tie the fly is a Mouche Fly Fishing 8471 in a size 16. The size 16 is really on the bigger side of the WD-40, but I'm using it just for illustrative purposes. Any curved shank, scud or emerger type hook will work perfectly. I attach a thread right behind the hook, leaving just a small gap there so we don't creep too much forward and overcrowd the head area later on. Once I've locked the thread in place, it's time to prepare the mallard feather. Note that I'm not laying a thread foundation all the way back yet. Here I've got a full mallard feather and I'm going to cut off about 10 fibers from the feather and lay it on top of the hook shank. This will form the tail and the wing case for the fly. So you want the feather to slightly protrude, let's say a half or 3/4 of a hook shank length behind the bend of the hook. Lay it on top of the hook shank and secure it with a tidy pinch wrap or two. Now hold the mallard feather on top of the hook shank and just wrap the thread back, opening it every now and then to make sure that the thread lies nice and flat. It gets quite tricky when you get here to the end, especially to make sure that the mallard stays on top of the hook shank. Now open your thread again and run the thread all the way back up again. The reason why we open this thread so much is that the thread will only be used as the abdomen for this midge pattern, so we really want to create a nice and smooth body. Now you'll notice that I'm going to run the thread forward, securing the mallard right up against the hook eye. Open your thread again and just go back with your thread with touching turns to about halfway down the body. Open the thread again and head up back again. This just creates a slight taper to the body. For the dubbing for the thorax, I'm going to be making use of Hareline superfine waterproof dry fly dubbing. You get them in a little dispenser and I'm going to use the brown olive color. Pull out a small amount from the dispenser and form a nice dubbing noodle on the thread. Don't use too much, we can always add more later, and start wrapping rearwards. We want to create a thorax that's about 1/3 of the total hook shank length. I just want to create a little bit more bulk in the thorax, so I'm going to add slightly more dubbing and just wrap it around the thorax again. There's one stubborn little fiber here from a mallard feather. That's it. You could use any dubbing really for this. You can also use very fine fur if you have any fine fur. This is just my preference for this fly because I can really create very small, neat thoraxes, especially on size 20 and 22 flies. You really need to control your bulk then. Okay, right, now that you've finished the thorax, it's time to pull over the mallard to the back over the thorax and secure with tying thread. 3 wraps should be perfect. Now cut off the excess. Now you'll notice there's a slight amount sticking out there that we need to clean up. So open your thread once again and just run over that with your thread. Grab your whip finishing tool and just do a nice 3-turn whip finish or even a 4-turn whip finish behind the thorax. Pull it tight just to make sure that the knot secures properly and cut off the thread. Now here you can apply some varnish. I generally don't because I just like the color of the fly as it is, and I haven't had problems of them coming loose. And there you have it, the completed WD-40 Mouche pattern. I hope that you found this fly tying tutorial helpful, and if you did, please consider subscribing to our channel and turn on the notifications. We'll then let you know if we release any more tying tutorials or gear reviews. Until next time, cheers.